Now back to a few other things, including old mate Jim Chalmers. Oh, isn't he kind? Because despite the fact that there's all of these problems happening in the country right now, he does say, well, look, I know we're going to have a budget surplus, but if the surplus is big enough, I might throw 1 or 2 crumbs your way to deal with that, cost of living business.
We know that it's not mission accomplished because people are still hurting. And you can expect to see in the budget a focus on cost of living help. A tax cut for every taxpayer will be the centrepiece of the cost of living help in the budget. And if we can afford to do a little more than that, then those decisions will be taken in the next week or two.
But let's all say it together. How big is that tax cut? It's too little, it's too late, and it's $15 a week. Does this really feel like something that's going to change the world? And by the way, when he whinges and bitches and moans, I don't have enough money, guess what? According to the ABS and the budget papers, we had a look at this today, the Bureau of Statistics released just how much revenue the federal government has been getting in the past 3 full years of the budget cycles. Now, obviously, COVID was low, but geez, it's gone up, and it just shot through the roof in the first year of the Albanese government. Oh, but they're not at all high taxing. Their expectations, by the way, in a couple of years' time, even higher than that. So don't tell me there's no money going around, please. As the Herald Sun calculated today, the average Australian taxpayer is paying about $13,000 in income taxes last year. Many of you will say, sorry, that little? Let me tell you how they get to that number. The average Australian, 15 years and over, so we're assuming everyone's earning exactly the same money, right? All the way from 15 to 90. Paid $13,980 in Commonwealth income taxes over the 2023 year. This is up by $1,400, 12% in the past 12 months. It is double the rate of inflation. So not only was inflation making everything more expensive, the taxes that the federal government was getting was making things even more expensive. Now, of course, politicians, well, they're not really in it with us. They might talk a good game, but they know as long as they just, play along, don't rock the boat, they'll be fine because they got the biggest pay rise in a decade. And the people who work for the politicians in the public service, they got their biggest pay rise in a decade. And private companies are getting a slice of $1 billion from the taxpayer to help create a new, green, amazing future. But one of those companies, highlighted here, is owned by a billionaire. Why are they getting taxpayer money? And backed in by a multi-millionaire former Prime Minister. Why are they getting $1 of taxpayer money when thousands of Victorians earn a wage but have nowhere to live? New research from the Council of Homeless Persons revealed that 12,146 wage earners across the state of Victoria sought homelessness assistance in 2023. Everyone paying attention? 12,000. Yet this bloke in Canberra, oh, if I can squeeze it, I'll give you something. But I've definitely got money for the company run by a multi-millionaire former Prime Minister and owned by a freaking billionaire. Think about what the Prime Minister was talking about today when it came to Elon Musk. Oh, that arrogant, evil billionaire. Oh, we'll play class warfare when it comes to the stuff we disagree. Otherwise, we'll shovel money that comes from people who are not only paying more for everything, but more tax on top of it than ever before. Oh, but you couldn't possibly cut petrol taxes. You couldn't possibly commit to an energy system and slower transition that means, for goodness sake, power bills don't explode. Oh no, of course, because you've got to feel good. Because you're going to use more of those taxpayer dollars to host a UN climate conference. Remember, that was one of their dreams. I get angry not because it's the politicians that I disagree with, not because it's not the people who I voted for. I get so pissed off because they claim to be something else. And when somebody claims to be something else but turns out to be just as bad as everyone who's ever done it before, yet the media, who call out every little thing with the people they don't like but give a complete free pass to the people they do like, you start to feel like the system's rigged. You start to feel like the system couldn't care less about anyone outside the bubble. Now, I get it. I'm not digging ditches. I've got a TV show. This is the greatest job I will ever have, and fingers crossed will have it as long as I possibly can. But like you, I come from normal stock that doesn't think people identify as birds, and understands that Australia Day is not a white pride festival, and understands that Anzac Day is not some sort of mythical celebration of war criminals. That's happy to have a top tax rate of 48 cents in the dollar if the people with nothing are being taken care of. But what was that number again? 12,000 people in one state, 70% of them women, have a job but are also seeking homelessness assistance. Yet these flogs in Canberra and the people who suck up to them never call them out. And the Treasurer will say, oh, how good am I? Surplus. Seriously? Let's judge our country by the people we don't help. Let's judge our country by the people we choose to help. Let's judge our country as being one that is strong and free enough to have pride in its own existence.